Alright guys, good morning, welcome back to the channel. If you guys saw the last couple videos, I did some work on the C10 and we talked about the rear end on this thing. I had a bunch of different ideas, whether keep it stock, go Silverado diff, all kinds of different ideas. But if you saw the video yesterday that my dad did when he picked up the trailer, he also picked up the rear diff from the same car that the front end on this came off of, and that is this here 2017 Tahoe rear differential, disc brakes, everything is here. A little information on these: it is a 342 rear gear, which it'll work for now. But today I'm going to be dismantling this whole thing, taking the arms off. I'm going to leave the sway bar on for now because that's what's holding this whole thing up. Shocks. And I'm going to dismantle the brakes here and get rid of the emergency brake setup and the backing plates if I'm able to, if that's a easy enough job without completely taking this whole thing apart. But yeah, pretty simple day. Got this rear diff for old C10 over there, so, and I'm gonna have to buy some more wheels. Hopefully I can find a matching set like this. If not, whatever, just get this thing rolling. All right guys, I'm gonna go see what my dad's up to and then get back to work on this. Speaking of the trailer, he is dismantling a lot of this stuff, cutting the shin busters off. He cut the wood off, so we get down to that. Yeah, I'll come back to that later on. I'm gonna get started on this rear diff. Alright guys, got all the control arms off. So the plan is to cut all the bracketry off of this one and weld on what I have on this rear diff, which is just these. I don't know if we're going to be cutting these off or just getting new ones, but everything for the 4-link setup that I already have, we're gonna put on that diff. Yeah, now I'm gonna get on to the brakes, just get all this emergency brake stuff out of the way. We don't need it. I mean, this dust guard here, I mean, that's toasted, so I'm just gonna take everything off that I can, and then yeah, get it ready to put on the truck. Alright guys, finally got those off. Apparently old Chevy did not want those things to come off. They were a pain in the butt, especially since this isn't bolted to anything, so it just wants to roll around and everything. But the caliper brackets are off now, and I can get these discs off. Then we can tackle the e-brake stuff. Alright guys, back to work. Alright guys, the camera shut off because it was too dang hot out here. In Tucson, Arizona, it feels like 120, but it's probably 105 right now. Anywho, got the disc brakes off, the rotors, and now I'm going to take apart the emergency brake. And I was looking at it, like, to take these off, I was hoping that I don't have to pull the axles out, because it looks like I have to pull this bracket off. And then, yeah. But I had a closer look at everything, and there's little bolts inside here that look like it holds the backing plate on. So I'm gonna get the drum brakes apart, yank those screws out, and hopefully these things come loose. I'm probably gonna have to cut them, which isn't a big deal. I just don't want to yank the axles out today. But yeah, let's get to work and see what happens. Alright guys, look at that. No more emergency brake, no more backing plates. I'm just going to throw everything back on that I took off, like the brackets, the rotors, calipers, so I don't lose anything in the meantime, and you know, so the calipers aren't just hanging loose like that. But yeah, almost done with this. I'm just gonna get it back together. And then my dad, he picked up more stuff on Marketplace a couple days ago, and I'm gonna show you guys that once I'm done with this. Everything is in the garage, so stay tuned for that. Alright guys, I'm about done for the day on this. As you can tell, got everything accomplished that I wanted to today. So the C10 is going to have a matching rear diff for the front suspension, both 2017 Chevrolet Tahoe / Silverado. I believe that they're the same. This thing has a 342 rear gear in it. The one that's in that has a 373, but you know, I could change that down the road. The goal right now is just get this thing back on the road and driving and racing. But like I said earlier, I'm gonna go show what my dad picked up earlier this week. Yeah, let's head to the garage. Alright guys, in the garage now. And now you can see everything laid out that my dad picked up the other day.
My goodness.
Where do you want to start at, Doug?
Well, maybe a 12-step program. But, yeah, well, let's start out. This guy just gave it to me because it is locked up. But this is a little, what do you figure, Bobby, 800?
It's a Fiat 850, like 1968 Fiat 850 Spider or Berlina. It's the 100G engine. It is 863 cc's, something like that. But this thing, that's tiny.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
that'll fit in a shoebox.
That's tiny.
That's the cutest motor. And I guess that thing fits on it.
That's the transmission for it.
Which is a transaxle.
Yeah, the Fiats are rear engine, rear wheel drive, just like the Volkswagens. So, yeah, what else?
Well, we got an engine case, that's 1600. It probably needs to go to the machine shop. We got a transmission case, and I don't know, when I took these transmissions apart, the last load I got, one was just totally just filled with water and just the calcium deposit, all that stuff. So the case was garbage. That's a perfectly good case. Then here's a 002 transmission that the gear clusters, this hasn't been taken apart, but the differential has. So I suspect that maybe we just throw a new differential in this and we'll have a good bus tranny there. This guy here turns and shifts. This guy here turns and shifts.
This, you know,
that's a transaxle there. The swing axle.
Might go in old Black Betty, who knows?
Yeah. So an IRS tranny here. We got sets of heads.
More heads.
Yeah, more heads. There's a single port. The rest of them are dual ports, so might just have to give the single port away. These jugs, they're just anchor weights. They're garbage.
Generators, it looks like, starter.
Yep. And there's an alternator somewhere, yeah, on the fan.
Yeah, right here. Yeah.
And
that's a alternator stand.
Yep.
Which that's only one we have now. That's not on a car. Generator stand, which we have about 10 of those.
Yeah.
I saw an 8-dowel flywheel over there, but
yeah,
that thing's toasted, it looks like.
I mean, this thing's super lightweight though, but it's only the 180 instead of the 200. But I mean, that is thin and light, and it's an 8-dowel. So, and then there's the 4.
Just a bunch of random stuff. MG mud flaps that, you know, probably put on a wall or something. But
and the old rusty crank.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be able to polish out of that one. But there's the gear cluster that came out probably into this one. And it's been all rusty. That's the one out of the one I described.
Yeah.
See that rust bucket there? And then this one probably came out of this one here. But I'm hoping these gears are good. And all we need to do is throw a super diff in there and we got a good 002. So. But that's it. I'm thinking I'm gonna pull the head off of that. I want. You see this here? This thing's been. It's been open to the environment.
Yeah. But it'd be cool.
Yeah.
The idea for that is
the golf cart.
Yes.
This would make the golf cart a little ripper. And it'd be fun just to get it all.
I looked up a lot of stuff on it, and people put like the little superchargers and stuff on them. Like, people do cool stuff with them.
With these cute little motors. All right.
But yeah, I guess that's it for today. So go down in the description, get your AMSOIL. We are an independent dealer now, so all the links down there in the description. And like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.